What's up, guys? It's Dr. Jim. I am so glad for you to get on to this live tonight. This is a brand new series that I am starting right here tonight. If you are on any of my channels, I am so excited for you to start following this series that we're going to do. This is going to be Metabolomic Mondays, and you're going to understand more about that as we go. But this is one of the most exciting things I have ever done in my career. I am so excited to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. But before we get started, if you wouldn't mind, when you're getting on, if you wouldn't mind putting down in the comments where you're coming in from, and not only where you're coming in from, but whether you're watching this live or are you checking it on the replay, because I love to know, are you getting the full energy of Dr. Jim Live? Are you seeing it on the replay? Either way, it doesn't matter. It's going to be awesome. But if you wouldn't mind putting that in the comments, I would also love to give everybody a shout out when they get on. And throughout this process, if you have some questions or comments, I will definitely try to get on. Hey, Donna, thanks for getting on. I'm so excited that you're in here. That's awesome. All right. Really cool. So Donna from Richmond is on the Zoom tonight or on the live. This is fantastic. All right. So I'm really, really excited to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight on Metabolomic Mondays. And I want to tell you a little bit about how this started. So many of you have been following me for a long time, and you know that for a really long time, I was heavily involved in the area of functional medicine, sort of the natural side of functional medicine. And if you don't know what functional medicine is, it's sort of the deep dive into like root cause medicine. Like, they always say in functional medicine, like if you have a problem, they'll say, okay, you always ask, then why? And then when you get that answer, you ask why again. And you keep searching until you get to sort of the root cause. And so I've done a lot of functional medicine. I adapted what I was doing in functional medicine all the way into this incredible program that we do called Hope 30, which is a wellness and health transformation program that is spread all across the country. We've had thousands of people go through Hope 30, lose, 20 plus pounds. We have people that have lost over 100 pounds and completely reclaim their health. And through this process, and Hope 30 is basically based on it, but through this process, I have been getting really, really into the study of metabolomics. Now, you might be asking, well, what in the heck is metabolomics and what does that matter? Well, metabolomics is the study of the small molecules called metabolites that are involved in your metabolism. And right now, you have approximately like 5,000 chemical reactions that happen in your body on a daily basis. And the result of those reactions are ultimately what make you, you. And the leftover, hey, Tom, awesome. I'm so glad you're on. Thank you. Near my Ashland office. That's cool. And so we know that these small little molecules that are byproducts of these reactions are called metabolites, and they're like little leftover little pieces, and we can read them in your blood and in your urine. And when we do that, they tell us how well, hey, Branch, they tell us how well your metabolism is working. How well are these 5,000 chemical reactions working? And by knowing that, we know as specific to you as your fingerprint, how well is your metabolism working? And what's important to understand is when I talk about how well is your metabolism working, I'm not talking about like how well can you lose weight? How fast is it going? I'm literally talking about how is every single chemical reaction that happens in your body, all the things that produce health in your body, how are those reactions happening? And I want to tell you tonight, because tonight we are going to go over a metabolomic test that I did on someone, but this isn't just anybody. So as you guys know, I mean, I have a supplement brand called Hope Essentials where we have like the best metabolic supplements on the planet that support complete metabolic pathways, and they're of the highest quality and they're amazing. And we take them in my house and we use them. And we were on this journey, and we've been we've had these supplements in our house for a long time, and I take them, my wife takes them, my son takes them. And sure enough, about a year and a half ago, my son got COVID. Now at this point, I would assume most of us have gotten COVID. But literally, right on the back of COVID, it was in the middle of my son's lacrosse season. And I don't know if it was from the gloves or, sports. He got like a MRSA infection right on the back of COVID. Well, it wasn't very long. It was like 2 months later, 3 months later, he got another MRSA infection. And then like 3, 4 months, 5 months later, he got another one. And at that point, we were really, really concerned. And we were really, really stressed out because, he's 15 years old, and he's just keeps having these horrendous infections, and big, like, boiling out of his skin. It was really scary. And so that's when I was sort of like, okay, enough is enough. So we sent him to like the regular doctor, to his pediatrician, and I said, all right, let's get all this blood work done. I want to get that. But while we're doing that, I also want to get this metabolomics test done. All right. And we got the most incredible information from those two tests. Number one, I was able to look through his regular blood work, and you could see like white blood cells, the kind of white blood cells. You could see like, oh, his immune system he's been battling viruses and bacteria and even possibly parasite. Like, his immune system was just really struggling. And what I think happened is he was literally not even over COVID, and then he got another infection right on top of it. And I think it just sucked all this energy out of his body, and he could never catch up, because he was definitely taking the multivitamin, the premium multivitamin that I created called Perfect Health, but that was all he was taking, and it was just not enough to catch up to once he had gotten hit. And so the regular blood work told us, like, yes, his immune system is struggling. He's having real problems here. And then we had him get this metabolomics test. Now, this test is amazing. It is a first morning urine collection. So yes, he had to wake up in the morning. We peed in a cup. We poured the cup into some test tubes, and then we put it in the freezer. Then we did a finger prick, and we dabbed that on a card, and we let that dry. We let that all go for 24 hours, and then we packed it all up, and we shipped it back to the lab in all the prepackaged envelopes and everything. And within, I think it was about 12 days later, we got this report back. And I got to tell you, the information that we got from this test changed our lives forever. Because I now knew, like, yes, the regular blood work told me, man, his immune system is having problems. It's not like he hadn't been on an antibiotic or two. Like, he had been on antibiotics, he had been on these things, but he just kept getting sick over and over again because his body couldn't catch up. Well, this test right here gave us the what was wrong, the what was missing, and how we needed to intervene to get his health back on track. And I'm telling you, when we made these changes, and they weren't there wasn't a ton, just some, because we now knew, as specific to him as his fingerprint, where his metabolic deficiencies were, we went at just those, and we haven't had a problem in a year. It's miraculous. All right. So what I want to do for everyone tonight is a special. And again, if you're getting on, if you wouldn't mind putting down in the comments where you're coming in from and whether you're watching us live or on the replay. Well, if you're in here right now, you're watching it live, clearly. But I'd love to get you to comment in the comments, and please feel free to interact. Okay. But let's go ahead, and I want to go ahead and share the test. Thank you, assistant. All right. So right here we can see the metabolomics test, and up here at the top you can see it's Hunter Holland. It tells you when we did it and everything. And what I love about this test is it very quickly went right to the heart. Hey Sherry, it's good. Thank you for getting on. Um, you can see right here it's color coded. It's like granimals for testing because it gives you numbers and it gives you colors. And we can look here and we can be like, this methylation marker. Now, methylation is an important process. It does require lots of B vitamins. Guess what? It was perfect. See, my son was taking the supplement that we created called Perfect Health. Has a lot of the vitamins and minerals that are needed for methylation. It was perfect. Hi, Janice. Thanks for getting on. And Janice said, I took the test in February. Amazing feedback information. Yes. Thank you, Janet. That is awesome. Thank you, Janet. We can see here toxic exposure, 0. All right. We can look over here, mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, your mitochondria are those important powerhouses in your cell that make energy. You need those. Those are incredibly important to how your body functions. Look, his were green. It was only a 4. Like those 3 are nearly perfect. Like what an awesome thing. But let's look over here. Oxidative stress. It is, this is a 8 to a 10 is a high need of support, and that is severe. Okay. And we look over here, even omega imbalance. That is a 6, which puts him in the middle of a moderate need. So we're like, okay, we had some needs, especially, wow, red, oxidative stress. Well, you can imagine if you've been chronically fighting a virus and a bacteria, there's going to be a tremendous amount of oxidative stress. And so let's keep looking through the test and let's see what we found, which changed our lives. All right. Well, the next page here, which is a really, really nice sort of synopsis of what the test found. And it shows, you can look here up at the top, it's the antioxidants, right? And it shows the need. We were deficient in vitamin A. We had plenty of vitamin C, but we were deficient in vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid. We had good amount. CoQ10 was good. Glutathione, which is the body's it's the only antioxidant the body makes. It's the primary one that your body uses to help clear out and protect your body and to get rid of toxins. And then plant-based antioxidants, severe need. So out of all of those, you can really, really look and be like, wow, that is so, like, out of all of those, there's only 2 in the green. Everything else is significantly over in the red and the yellow. And all right. So Pam just said, I was looking at this today. Unbelievable that you're talking about it tonight. There are so many tests out there. Confusing. Yes. Well, we're not going to let this be confusing tonight. This is literally as specific to you as your fingerprint. This is exactly my son Hunter's. This was his needs. This was the snapshot of him when we were like, we need to finally do something. So you can look and so all the antioxidants are really low. Then we looking at a bunch of the B vitamins. Hey, a lot of them are pretty good, except, maybe right here, B3 and biotin, B7. Just so happens that biotin is a fairly major antioxidant B vitamin, right? B1 is also. So you're like, okay, that makes sense. Then you come in and you're like, okay, let's look at the minerals. Magnesium's a little low, maybe a little bit. Manganese, molybdenum's fine. Oh, we're severe deficient in zinc. That makes a lot of sense. When you guys hear that when you might have a virus or infection, what does your body need more of, right? It needs zinc. Well, clearly he was getting zinc. He was getting easily the regular daily amount of zinc that you would need we have 100% of your daily zinc requirement in perfect health. But his body had taken such a hit and was using so much zinc to fight these infections that he could never catch up. It was just leaving him depleted, and his immune system could never really catch up. All right. So that's really the big stuff that we see on here. Let's go to the next one. Now, what's cool about this part of the test is it just breaks it down now individually. So like look at vitamin A right there. That was an 8, which is a high need. Now look what a deficiency might show up as. It may result in night blindness, impaired immunity. Well, we had that. Problems with healing and tissue regeneration. Well, that was a problem. Increased risk of infection. Yes, all of that. Vitamin E deficiency. That one not so much. Hold on. Plant-based antioxidants, chronic fatigue. That was implicated. Alpha lipoic acid. Not so much of those. Glutathione deficiency may result in oxidative stress and damage. Yes. Impaired detoxification of toxins. It can be altered immunity and increased risk of chronic illness. Well, yes. So we were dealing with all of that. So here's the antioxidants. Then you go to the next page and you go, okay, wait a minute. What was the big need there? Biotin was a 7. Low levels can equal hair loss, scaly, rash, or impaired immunity. Yes, all of that, right? But I love to look at the other ones like, man, B12 looking awesome. B9 looking awesome. Guess what? He was getting all of that in good amounts from Perfect Health, but now it was these antioxidants that were really getting us. Now, let's go to the next one. We go, okay, zinc. Oh, we were really deficient in zinc. It can, again, result in hair loss and skin rashes. Yep. Impairments in growth and healing, in immunity. So we were having problems with definitely in the area of immunity. All right. You can even look down here at the need for omegas, which was fairly high for us. It can also equal dry skin rash, poor wound healing, and increased risk of infection. Are you guys seeing a pattern here? So this was all what we saw on Hunter's test. And as we keep going, now we get into things like, I would say, hey, we probably need some help, a little bit of help in our gut as well. Well, it just so happens, what did he just get done probably? Which, again, not my favorite thing, but when your child has a severe bacterial infection that could go to their heart and their brain and could kill them, you're like, you know what? I'm now not against an antibiotic. Give him an antibiotic for his MRSA, right? Whatever we have to do. Well, he'd just been on antibiotics. So that also will disrupt your gut, which we were starting to see here, which is why we are also working on that. Now, I want to take you a little deeper, but I will tell you this, that just those first pages, vitamin A, vitamin E, all those antioxidants, and zinc, that changed our lives. That was the answer. Because from my supplement brand, Hope Essentials, we basically gave Hunter perfect antioxidant. Now, guess what there's a lot of in perfect antioxidant? Everything you see on the page is what was used to formulate this, right? High levels of vitamin A, C, E, plant-based antioxidants, all the things your body needs to make glutathione. They're all in perfect antioxidant, and that is what we started giving him. We gave him this, and he was also taking Perfect Health, which was really important. And then we gave him zinc, just straight up zinc supplement. All right. Now, when you're doing zinc, you want to make sure that it's a chelated zinc. So something like zinc gluconate, zinc glycinate, picolinate. You want it to be zinc citrate. You want it to be an 8, right? You don't want it to be an oxide. All right, really important. So, but I want you to go through here and look at what oxidation is doing. Now, it is important for you to understand that this test was also done during wrestling season. And so during wrestling season, we were working out pretty hard, and we weren't eating lots and lots of food because we were probably trying to maintain a certain weight. So what we can look at here is we can look at right across the top, it shows you fats, carbs, and proteins. These are the macromolecules you would eat. Now, what's important to understand is every single one of your macros has to be broken down to become this thing here in the middle called acetyl-CoA. And from acetyl-CoA, it goes down into your mitochondria, and through the citric acid cycle, it's how you start making energy. So you make some ATP in the citric acid cycle, then it dumps everything down here to the electron transport system, and then that's where you make the rest of the ATP. Well, so let's look at turning fats into energy. Well, these two metabolites over here, adipic and seborrheic acid. Well, you see seborrheic is a red oblong circle with a red arrow going up. That means there is a buildup of that metabolite, which means we were having problems going from fats down through beta oxidation to acetyl-CoA. We were getting a buildup here, so we were having problems going to the next step. Well, things like magnesium, B2, and the amino acid carnitine are ultimately what your body needs to be able to turn fats into acetyl-CoA so that you can burn them for fuel. Now, we come over here, carbs become pyruvic acid to acetyl-CoA. That was going great, all right? But then we look over here and we go, okay, citric acid, all right? Now, when we look at that citric acid, hold on. Let me get my sheet so I can look at it. So what you look at is the citric acid was low. Now, that can be for two reasons. One is we were having difficulty we weren't getting enough fuel and energy in, but also that there can be a block where because of oxidation, we are having problems making some energy at the beginning here. And so what you can see here, though, is these are all the steps that are required inside of the cell to make energy. And actually, he was doing a good job of making cellular energy at a lot of places. We just had a low amount going in, but each step worked great. And then here, when you look at malic acid, that was yellow and elevated, which means we were having problems going from that step to the next step, which that requires B3. Okay, so you guys see that? You see where, if you wouldn't mind putting in the comments, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you seeing these circles with the arrows showing when something isn't able to go from one step to the next? It means that you don't have what your body needs to go to the next step. And that's what we're seeing here. And then this is when it gets really interesting. We get down here to this bar at the bottom that says electron transport system. Yeah, Donna said, this is amazing. I agree, Donna. It is amazing. It changed our entire life. Pam says yes. She's picking it up. I appreciate it. So let's look down here where we can look at lipid peroxidase. Now, lipid peroxidase is an enzyme that is elevated when there is oxidative damage to your cell membranes. Well, that doesn't sound good, does it, right? Well, look at Hunter's. It is red and it is high. That means he had an extremely high amount of damage to his cell membranes. Now, every cell in your body has a cell membrane. So if you're getting a ton of damage to all of your cells, that's not healthy. That's very dangerous. And it's all because most likely this infection that started and was causing all kinds of oxidative damage throughout his whole body. It was actually damaging all these different parts of the cell. Hey, Mary, thanks for sharing this. Thank you for getting on. I love it. We're getting a lot of great people on tonight. And so, but this lipid peroxidase going elevated just means there's all this damage to all the cell membranes. Now, I got to tell you, this was the one that really kind of shook me up a little bit. Because when you realize that you have tons and tons of cells in your whole body, and all of his cells have damage to their cell membranes, that's really scary. And this is why, like, that's oxidative damage. So we have to work on just clearing up this oxidative damage. And that's ultimately what our game plan became, was really working on that. All right. Thank you, Sherry. All right. So now this gets really deep and a little complicated, but I'm just going to hit a couple highlights to talk about from this, what I want you to get. So this first big box up at the top is all about your gut. So you guys have heard like all your problems are from your gut, right? If you have a chronic illness, if you have digestive problems, if you have an autoimmune condition, nowadays all the research is coming out that if you have depression and anxiety, it's linked to disruptions in your gut. Immune system problems, 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. So when we're looking at your gut, this is really, really important. And so this whole section up here is all on your gut. So if you've ever wondered, how's my gut? I wonder if I have gut problems. Well, this is how it would tell us. And what we're reading is everything over here are what are called metabolites. And these are the leftover products of chemical processes that happen in your body. So these malabsorption markers, these are elevated when there's undigested proteins that show up. And so we can see like, okay, this is a little problematic, not really a big thing. But then we look at the next one, dysbiosis markers. These are bad bacteria in your gut. Now you wonder, like, what are bad bacteria? Things like Clostridium, E. coli, C. diff. These are, and not just those, but those are kinds of bad bacteria that could be living in your gut. And we look at here and he was like, oh, we had 2 of those up in the moderate. Well, it kind of makes sense because, we just took an antibiotic a couple times. We probably disrupted our gut a little bit. Then we look here, yeast and fungal markers. Oh, a little bit of elevated yeast marker as well. Well, that yeast and fungal markers, that also, Donna, we're gonna give you the chance to take this test when we get done tonight. Okay. So this shows us the yeast and fungal markers. His were a little elevated. So this would be somewhere where I'd be like, we really need to work on making sure that we're getting probiotics to reestablish the good bacteria in the gut, because that is going to also be connected to his immune system. Then we come down here, and this is all just the representation of what we watched or what we saw in the other one, right? Like we're having problems converting fat into fuel here. So, and then here's all the energy cycles. Oh, we look over here, branch chain catabolism. These are all B vitamins. Look, all of them look really good except that one, which is usually going to be like biotin. We look at methylation markers. Those look good. That's like your B12 and your folic acid. Those look good. Biotin markers. Oh, there was the one that was out. Now, it's important to understand, guess what biotin is as a B vitamin? Biotin as a B vitamin is an antioxidant as well. It works in the antioxidation process. So again, that all feeds in to what we talked about. These chinorine markers, these are all vitamin B6 markers, and we're like, ooh, elevated. So a little bit of B6 need. Catecholamine markers have to do with like dopamine, adrenal hormones, norepinephrine, epinephrine, like vasoconstrictors and dilators. Hey, he is good. Those look amazing, right? Then we come down and look at serotonin markers. Ooh, it's really elevated, way up in the red. Well, guess what? This is not the serotonin you make in your brain. This is the serotonin you make in your gut. And guess what? You make serotonin in your gut when there's inflammation in your gut. So this ties back to this digestive stuff. And like, guess what? We really need to work on our gut some. Now, was this a cause or was this an effect? Is this where we are now because we ended up on a number of antibiotics and we disrupted our gut? Or did this help drive our infection process? I don't know. But I just know that right when we took this test, this is where we were. Okay. All right. And then that's all. Okay. And so, as we scroll through, most of these, here it is. This is the oxidative damage one that's really important. Lipid peroxidase, man, it is really elevated. And again, this is the damage to the cell membrane. So we had a lot of damage to our cell membranes, and I really believe, listen, viruses attached to the cells. We had COVID to start, and then I just believe there was opportunistic infection after one after the other that our body could never catch up to and could never fight. And this test ultimately helped us figure out. Let's go back. Whoop. I want to go back just real quick back to here, because this test literally helped us pick out, okay, well, what are we missing and what does his body need to work? Because I want you to know one major thing. The regular blood work that we got done only told us that his immune system was struggling, that there was a problem, that his white blood cells were low because he'd been fighting a chronic infection, and his neutrophils and lymphocytes told us, like, hey, I think he's had bacterial infections. I think he's had viral infections. His immune system is just exhausted. So what are you going to do about that? Are you going to put him on antibiotics for the next year? That doesn't help. Certainly doesn't help viruses. Not only that, you're going to destroy its whole gut microbiome in the process, which we could see was already starting to happen. So what do you do about it? You just wait, and you wait until the next time he gets another one and another one. Well, that's not what we did, because we were really at the end of our rope. I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We were going to, because I believe that this only happens. This could only happen to him for one of two reasons. Either, number one, by act or omission, he was causing damage faster than his body could heal itself. Well, guess what? He was eating really clean. He was in wrestling season, so he was eating really clean. All right. He was exercising, eating really clean, drinking a lot of water, doing great stuff. So I don't think he was causing damage faster than his body could heal itself. So the next thing is the only other reason his body couldn't heal itself is he lacked the vital nutrients that his body needed to do the healing. Well, this test proved it. We did not have enough vitamin A. We did not have enough vitamin E. We did not have enough alpha lipoic acid. We did not have enough glutathione. We did not have enough plant-based antioxidants. Our biotin was low. We're really low in zinc. All right. And so, as simple as the stack that we used is we had him take Perfect Health, which is the most ideal all-in-one multivitamin, multimineral, essential fatty acid product that I think you can take. It is my formulation, and it's designed to give you literally 100% of the recommended daily allowance of all those. Now, notice I said it's designed to give you 100% of all those. It does not necessarily correct severe deficiencies, which we can see we were dealing in deficiencies, big deficiencies. Because right over here, it'll tell you what's the daily recommended intake, like daily recommended intake versus what does the test think they need, right? So vitamin A, the daily recommended intake is like 3,000 IUs of vitamin A. They were recommending we need at least 10,000 IUs of vitamin A, right? Vitamin C, the daily recommended is only like 75 milligrams. It's saying, even with a good amount, you should probably get 250, right? 22 IUs of vitamin E, the recommended with this test was like 400. So you can see that when you're in a deficiency, you need significantly more to bring that deficiency back into balance. And so the stack was Perfect Health, the foundation to get everything we needed. Then it was Perfect Antioxidant, and Perfect Antioxidant supports this entire metabolic pathway of oxidation. And here it is. What does it have in it? Well, there is vitamin A. It's like 11,000 IUs of vitamin A. It has 600 milligrams of vitamin C. It has, it has just like all these great things. So the antioxidant pathway, just filling in all of that metabolic pathway. And then we got zinc. And again, so once we fix zinc, once we fix the antioxidants, he has had a transformational year, right? Maybe one little scare, but nothing came of it. And his body has been just getting better and healing itself and taking care of it. And it's all because of this test and really diving in on the metabolomic level. And so, for all of you out there, if you are dealing with any kind of health concern, maybe you're having, maybe you have chronic health issues, maybe you have eczema, you have an autoimmune condition, you have things you've been dealing with over a long period of time, and you're looking for a different way to look at it, then I would really consider looking into metabolomic testing with me. We have started doing something. You can even see this incredibly cool little logo down here in the corner. That is our Hope Metabolomics logo. All right. So we started, and Hope Metabolomics is functional medicine made simple. It is a brand new program, completely new, unlike anything else that's out there, where I can take pretty much your foundation, like probably blood work you've had done in the last year. And we can do this test. And when we marry that information, just like I did with my sons, we took his blood work and then we married it with this metabolomics test. And when I have all of that information, we can plot out a plan for you. And literally over a 3-month period of time, we can have a significant miraculous change in your health without focusing on diagnosing and treating diseases, because that's not what this does. This is designed to find and correct nutritional deficiencies that are ultimately driving at the very, very root cause, at a very, very cellular level, even beyond, lower than the cellular level, at the very, very deepest part of your body. These deficiencies are driving a lot of these conditions, and if we fix them, there's miraculous changes that can happen in your health. So I'm going to stay on and answer as many questions as you guys would like. But what I'm going to recommend is, if you're like, I would really like that test, I am really interested in getting this test done, what you can do is I'm going to recommend that we have a phone consultation where I can sit down and we'll take just 15 minutes. Let me find out what you have going on. And then I'll be like, okay, yes, I think you getting this test and looking more deeply into metabolomics is a really good path for you. So if that's what you would like, you can see it scrolling across the bottom. You would just email amy@hopeessentials.com. And you will do that to request the free phone consultation. And we'll talk for 15 minutes and we'll help decide. And if we decide, yes, we want to go forward with it, Amy will send you a little questionnaire, and then we will order the test for you. They will send the kit to your house. You take the test at home. You send it back to the lab. And in about 2 weeks, we get all the information like we just went over. And I will tell you, it will shock you. It is exciting. It is liberating to know at a very foundational level what might be going on and how that might be affecting your symptoms. And I will definitely be this is what Metabolomic Monday is going to be. I'm going to continue to bring, I have done a lot of these tests recently with a lot of patients, and I'm going to be sharing each one of these on there and showing different people how it's affected and how it works. This is a great question, Pam. So Pam just asked, what is MTHFR? So MTHFR is a gene snippet. It's a polymorphism of a gene, which means basically the gene has got some, it's a little different than the standard. And what it makes it do is, MTHFR is an enzyme that helps you convert folic acid into methyl tetrahydrofolate. which is the N form of folic acid. It's the N form that your body can use. So MTHFR stands for methyl tetrahydrofolate reductase, which is the enzyme that helps you go from folic acid or folate to methyl tetrahydrofolate. Now, when people have this type of polymorphism, they have difficulties converting folic acid to the N form. So some people will have it on one gene, some people have it on multiple genes, and what ends up happening is you can have anywhere from a 20 to a 60% reduction in your ability to convert folic acid into it. Now, how does that affect people? Well, you tend to have much lower, it significantly impacts your detox systems, your methylation. All right. And so methylation is a process in which your body helps clear things out. So just so everybody, MTHFR, my wife has MTHFR. Therefore, we know my son has it to some extent. But when we look back at his test, you'll see his methylation is perfect. It's a zero, like he has zero need. The reason he has zero need is he has been taking Perfect Health for like a year plus. And Perfect Health has lots and lots of folate as methyl tetrahydrofolate. So the supplements that we make at Hope Essentials have all of the methylated versions of folate and B12. So even if you have an MTHFR problem, we circumvent it because we give it to you in the form where it's already where it needs to be. And we did that because my wife has that problem. And because of that, we were only going to work with and create supplements that used the methylated forms of B12 and folate because of MTHFR. So that's really, really important. We got another question. This is great. With me just starting Hope 30 program, will taking these extra supplements like Perfect Antioxidant, should I wait till I finish 30 days to take test? So Sherry, I think that's a great question. What I would probably consider, and what you can do is you don't, like, if you're taking the supplements that you're taking right now. So Sherry is in our Hope 30 program right now, which means she's eating amazing and she is taking some supplements recommended for her based on our Hope 30 test, which is a questionnaire test based on this kind of testing. And if you're taking those already, what you can do is you could take the test as we get closer to the end of 30 days. And we could go ahead and order it. You could get the test. And as you get close to the end of the 30 days, you could take the metabolomics test. And you would just stop taking your supplements one day before you take the test, just so you're not getting like all your supplements in your pee. But you would stop taking your supplements the day before, then you can take the metabolomics test. And basically what we'll get back will be, okay, when I was taking these things, do I have enough of everything I need? Or is there something else that I may need? If I just added that on top of it, I would have everything I need. So yeah, I think taking it, I've had a number of people take the test while they're in the middle of Hope 30. And it's cool because you can actually see that they're fat burning, which is pretty cool because the ketones show up. So definitely that's something that we could do. But what you might want to do is you could order the test and just take it right. Actually, it's probably ideal. By the time it gets to you, you could take it. It'd be close to the end of your 30 days. Thank you for asking that, Sherry. Janice said, Dr. Jim met with me to discuss the results and was incredibly thorough. He adjusted supplements, and I plan to retake the test next February to see improvements, how to proceed. Grateful that there is a tool to get this information. More weight to lose, but encouraged. Yes. Thank you, Janice. That is super cool. Yes. And Pam said, well, thanks, which I thank you, Pam. So definitely, if you would like anybody on this live or when you're watching the replay, as you'll see scrolling across the bottom, if you would like a 15-minute phone consultation to see if this testing is a good idea for you, if you have a health concern or you just want to know more deeply if you're on the right track. Because I got to tell you, I meet with people every single day, and I cannot tell you the bags of supplements people bring in my office. And here's the thing. Most of the time, no, they don't go together, right? It's like I'm taking this and I'm taking this and I'm taking this, and someone said I should take this and someone said I should take this, and they've got 15 things in their bag. And you know what they don't have? No vitamin C, no vitamin A, no vitamin D, but they got some special weird herb that grows on a mountaintop somewhere, but they don't have any real nutrients. And so what I want to make sure is with this test is we can completely simplify your entire life when it comes to developing your nutrition. And here's what's important to understand about this test. Something I want you to understand before we get off tonight. What's cool about this test is because we are testing metabolites. We can spot, I don't want to say diseases. We can spot processes that are heading towards negative health outcomes long before they become whatever they do. Meaning things like insulin resistance show up on this test 10 years before you ever end up with a blood sugar problem. All right? So we can actually work on taking care of insulin resistance because we can spot it on your test, and if we fix it here, we can prevent it from becoming that later. I'm just looking at my son's oxidation score at an 8, and I want you to know what I think we're preventing. Number one, just reinfection. But there's something that happens when you get all that damage to your cell membranes. Your cell membranes is how your immune system recognizes, like, there are things on your cell membrane that your immune system uses to recognize that that is actually you. So guess what? When you get a bunch of damage to your cell membranes, your immune system no longer can tell that's you. So now your own immune system will think that it's okay to attack your cells. And that's what autoimmunity is. So I'm realizing that catching an 8 in the oxidative stress category when my son is 15 and working on that now may have helped divert us away from a significant autoimmune condition in the future. That is important to me, right? And preventing future infection and helping him feel great and have good energy, super important. But I think we really made a big difference there. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this tonight. Please like this and share this. Put this out on your page. Send this to your friends. This is the future of healthcare. All right. This is precision supplementation, precision natural medicine. This is as specific to you as your fingerprint. And right now, I really don't know anyone else really doing this at this level. And we have made functional medicine so much simpler that you can now old blood work and this test, and we can help make a dramatic change for you. So if that's what you're looking for, oh, great. Thank you. Great. Thank you, Tom. All right, guys. So thank you for getting on. I appreciate all of you. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And please like and share and comment and do all the things. Oh, yes, Mary, truly appreciate the summary of this case. So glad that your son has gotten so much better. Thank you, Mary. We are so glad too. And that's why I am really, really excited about everything that we're talking about. All right. So please stay tuned. And next Monday, we will do another Metabolomic Monday, and we will take another case and we'll dive right in. So please tell your friends, and I hope you have an awesome day. So just like I tell my son every day before he goes to school, be your very best today. Hashtag never quit. I believe the God wants the very, very best for you. And the day you believe that could change your life forever. Have an awesome, awesome night. Have a great night, everybody.